Hello and welcome everybody to the most obscure conjugation in Romanian, the conjugation. We will go straight into it, and if I were you, I will stay until the end because this video is packed with goodies that you will hopefully need in order to become a master of this conjugation. Hello lovely people of YouTube, just on a very quick note here, I want to let you know that the first Romanian Academy course is now live, and if you want to get a big discount, check the coupon in the description and access Udemy right now. That's all I wanted to say. After watching this video, check the course out, it will be worth it. So first things first, in the conjugation, the most important aspect is how you actually conjugate. We have here the verb a coborî and the rule for a no ending conjugation. If you look through this table, you have the very clear patterns that apply for most of the other conjugations, like nothing in case of eu, I for tu. Here you have the for el, ya, which is very similar to the, if you remember, a conjugation. So the verbs ending in a, the short form, then not îți, not ați, so they are different than the a conjugation, and then here. So you will see some patterns that are similar to the a conjugation for a no ending. We're talking about no ending verbs. And if we go to a coborî, we cut the and we get the root, and then we just build the tu form with the I to cobori. Then you see here there is a vowel added, but this is very common when you have this. So we're looking at the root and you need to add an This is very common if you think about the basic vocabulary such as frumos, frumoasă, having an O before an R and needing an after it. So adding an after an OR ending makes you get this A. We'll talk about this more in a second. Back to this root, we add îți, and then those two match. As you can see, they're on blue. And that is the short conjugation. Now we have also a long conjugation with So in this case, we took the verb aurî, and the long conjugation is verbs ending in ăsc. This is the no conjugation when there's nothing added at the end, and this is the long conjugation where you get basically, this is what I call long conjugation. People might call it differently, but basically you get a longer form because you get urăsc. So if it was here, for example, this verb aurî, and you conjugate it in this table, it would be probably something closer to ur. Here we have urăsc. So you add an ăsc after you remove the here. So from urăsc. You know, oppositely to this conjugation, when you get the root and then you add everything at the end. Here, what's considered to be the root is actually just removing this last letter, so ur, and then you add all of them from here to the end. So to ur you add ăsc, so you get urăsc. To ur you add ăști, urăști, urăște, urâm, urâți, urăsc. In this situation, those two are similar. I want you to see something very interesting. I have here on the left the I conjugation. I want to put this here to see in parallel. So if you remember from the last video of the season, that you can see on the other side of the screen here at the top, you get the link to that. I will check that at the end. But long story short, what's really important to know here is that these tables on the left, the ones covering the conjugation, they have some similarities and some differences. So there are some differences and similarities between the and e conjugation. You see here on the left the no ending, and you see here on the right the no ending. This is taking the ele form. This is taking the ya form. And then you see here underneath the second tables for the long conjugation. This is short, this is long conjugations. If you look at I, and this is obviously seeing here the big picture, it's quite clear that this one takes the yo form and this one takes the yo form as well. So a big similarity between the two is that you get, for most of them, by the way, why am I talking about I? I'm talking about I conjugation because it's all considered conjugation 4. when you look at these tables, you see that most of the times the ye form will be similar to yo. Here, here, and here. If you remember what I said at the very beginning, this one is very similar to the a conjugation. You can see this in the yelia. It gets the So the a conjugation gets those similar, the ye yele and yelia, and this one will get the same rule. This is quite an important similarity. However, there is a difference as well. As you can see, the yelia form is quite different. The yelia form in general in Romanian, it can get an e or an a, and that's a difference. You see here e, and then in plural forms you get I, and then in the conjugation you get an a and u. So here, if we look at differences, the ones on the right will be more in the, let's say, a realm. You'll get more a's at the endings. Here on the left you'll get more e's and i's. So this is for the, let me change the color, I think this is a bit better. So this is for the I conjugation, this is for the U conjugation. Now if we look at the short form and long form verbs that you will get, we had here a coborî and aurî. There are a few more here on this list. What's considered short form? We have a coborî, to go, get, come, climb down, basically to descend. A omorî, to kill. A doborî, to put down. A ocărî, to scold. A pogorî, to descend. So I have here, if you see, a little bit of a legend in terms of how frequent and how common those verbs are to be used. And if we look through them, I put them actually in an order, so from most to the least common. A coborî is definitely the most common here. A omorî, I would say, is quite common as well. Probably a doborî is a bit less frequent, and then a ocărî and a pogorî, those are not very common, and they need like very specific vocabulary and language to use. A pogorî is quite religious, and a ocărî is probably what parents and kids use when they get annoyed. So talking now about the long form, we have the ăsc ending. So a urî, a to hate, right? We talked about it already. A hotărî, to decide. A târî, to drag on the ground. A izvorî, to spring. A amărî, to embitter. A chiorî, to go blind. A borî, this is a bit vulgar, to vomit. A tăbărî, to rush at someone violently. A pârî, to accuse. And a zăvorî, to lock. Again, I'm gonna do the same. So a urî, a hotărî, they are quite frequent. Then you get a list of rather occasional ones. So a târî, again, it needs some specific vocabulary, but I would say it's more frequent than the latter ones. And a izvorî is occasional as well. And then a mărî and all the others are, I mean, again, it depends. With very specific vocabulary and very specific situations, you will get to use the other ones as well. But as you can see from this list, there are only a handful of verbs that you really need to know in this conjugation. And yeah, probably 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly around that. You'll get to practice a bit this even further in a bit, so stay tuned for more, because we have some exercises in a bit. What I want to say before that is this. So we have many of the verbs ending in orî. If you remember from the very beginning of this video, I said that if you get an or and then you get an to add at the end. And why do you get an or? Is because you remove the and or plus is oară. That's a very frequent, and this is actually probably for all of them, what happens in the yelia form. Coboară, omoară, doboară, ocară. Here you cannot really have, it doesn't have an o, right? So look, one big exception. And then pogoară. Other than that, you get the long form rule with ăște. Now, you get all this in a free tier PDF available on Patreon. So you get all these put together nicely in and explained in a PDF. You can see it now on the screen, and I suggest you go there and save that in your files, because that is the way we're gonna go forward from now on. We're gonna have some exercises as well, but before exercises, you can recap. If you don't want to watch the whole content of a video, you can just go into the free tier Patreon membership and you just download the PDF there. And that's the first kind of extra content you'll get today. You'll see in a second why I put here number 2. So moving on to some of the exercises here, we have the verb a coborî. And I conjugated this through the whole 6 persons. So we have eu, tu, el, noi, voi, and ele. And let's see how they can be used in sentences. So eu cobor din mașină, I get out of the car. And then you have tu cobori de la etajul întâi, so you come down from the first floor. Again, the idea of descent. El de unde coboară, where does he get down from? Noi nu coborâm chiar acum, we're not coming down right now, probably from the first floor or from a upper floor. Coborâți și voi. Also, this can be used when people are waiting outside and you have to come down from your building. Coborâți și voi să vedeți meciul cu noi. Again, the same kind of idea from the noi form. Are you coming down to see the match with us? Ele de ce nu coboară azi de pe munte? Why are they not coming down from the mountain today? You can see here, de pe is used for mountains, something that we'll talk more in the prepositions videos. Having that cleared with some examples, now I will want you to practice by pausing the videos for the next exercise. So we have here an exercise where you would need to conjugate this a coborî yourself. So pause the video and give it a shot yourself. And after that, we can see together how it is conjugated. All right, we can do this together now. So, eu cobor din mașină, tu cobori de la etajul întâi, el de unde coboară, noi nu coborâm chiar acum și voi să vedeți meciul cu noi, so coborâți, and ele de ce nu coboară azi de pe munte. If you had all of them precisely like this, good job. If not, maybe check out the previous part of the videos or the PDF. Now we're going to go a bit deeper into the conjugation, and here for this exercise, again, I recommend you pausing the video and trying to do this yourself. Try to translate using a coborî these phrases, and if you want, we will do them together as well. But pause the video and try it yourself first. Right, so a coborî. I get out of the car. Eu cobor din mașină. You come down from the first floor. Tu cobori de la etajul întâi. Where does he get down from? De unde coboară el? We are not coming down right now. Nu coborâm chiar acum. Are you coming down to see the match with us? Coborâți să vedeți meciul cu noi? Why are they not coming down from the mountain today? De ce nu coboară de pe munte azi? You can see that these phrases are similar to the previous exercises. So if you've done it right, then good job. If not, I would just start over again in exactly the same way, because they are all connected. So it's exactly the same. They are just translated from up there. Now a little reminder for you guys. You get these exercises for the video as a little practice, but there is much more under the Pretenaș tier for some more exercises that are available right now if you go on Patreon and you are a Pretenaș tier patron. So you get to practice this even further, and by this I mean the whole conjugation. It's not just a coborî. We'll work with the other verbs as well, and we'll have you pretty much proficient, let's say. There is another tier. This is number 3. I didn't show you yet what's number 1 and number 4, but that will be coming very soon. If you got all the way here in this video, I think you should consider subscribing to the Romanian Academy down below. It would help me with the algorithm, but if you also like the video, you give the chance to other Romanian enthusiasts just like you to join this awesome community and learn more things about the Romanian language or Romania in general. Should we get back to the video? Let's do it. Now let's move to the second part of the exercises, which is using the long form, so a, u, r. We have here some examples with a, u, r, and that's eu urăsc gândacii, I hate cockroaches, very true. Tu urăști ceva, do you hate anything? Ea urăște să meargă la serviciu, she hates going to work. Noi urâm locul ăsta, we hate this place. Nu îl urâți și voi, don't you hate it too? It can be basically coming from here, the îl can be the place, but you know, it's up to you how to use this. Pe cine ai spus că urăsc ei? Who did you say they hate? You can see here quite a bit of accusative going on. Pe cine îl. Little practice with this to get you started, how to conjugate a, u, r. And then, again, we have an exercise to fill in some blanks. So pause the video now if you want to give it a go and try to conjugate these. Right, now let's do it together. So we have urăsc gândacii, we have tu urăști ceva, ea urăște să meargă la serviciu, noi urâm locul ăsta, nu îl urâți și voi. Pe cine ai spus că urăsc ei? So this is how you conjugate this. Again, it's very similar to the previous one. The way I would work this out is not just looking at the screen and trying in my head. I would actually write this down on a piece of paper because you will see some possible misspelling going on. So yeah, take a piece of paper and a pencil for the next one maybe, if you haven't done already until now. So you can pause the video again and try to translate these sentences into Romanian. If you have tried already, I think you're ready to see this done. So, eu urăsc gândacii. You can obviously omit the eu. Tu urăști ceva. Again, you can omit completely the tu. You don't need to write it. Ea urăște să meargă la muncă. If you don't know why it's meargă, then check the conjunctive video, which is, again, on the other side of the screen. We hate this place. Urâm locul ăsta or locul acesta. Now careful because again you have some accusative here going on. So it will be either îl or o. It's up to you. It really depends. I mean, if you take the context of the previous sentence, like talking about the place, it's locul. So it will be îl because it's neuter. So it takes the masculine form. But obviously this can be o as well. So nu o or îl urâți și voi. Here it really depends on the context, but I just wanted to give you an example of how it works if you were from this context. Again, can be o as well, that's why I put it here. And then, who did you say they hate? Pe cine ai spus că urăsc? So, if you don't know why it's pe cine and not cine, then there is a very good video under the crash courses that from now on they are available on Patreon for Învățăcel tier as well. They used to be available only for Philanthrop, but since the latest price change, you will get the crash course on how to use the accusative in the Învățăcel tier too. So check Patreon for that. And that's all the exercises for today. Now, just before you go, I want you to know something. The other two very important aspects from this video, you get extra stuff on Patreon, more than we just talked about. First, you get this video for free. This is the first kind of topic that you get on YouTube. This is the video that everybody can get. Then, if you want to work up and and learn more about a topic, from now on you'll be able to do it like this. You have the video, then you can go up here. I was talking about the free PDF you get under the free tier on Patreon. You can practice more exercises under the pretenaș tier. So this is number 3. And finally, if you really want to practice this in a class and, you know, get it all sorted, all done and over, and make sure you are a pro in the conjugation or really any other topic that will follow from now on in grammar, then make sure you join the Învățăcel tier, and then we will have classes with me that we organize based on your time, and we will make sure that you know exactly how the grammar topic works. So that being said, please check again the resources that are mentioned in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to know more about Romanian. And also check out the first Romanian Academy course that will be available on Udemy very soon. A link is in the description as well with a promo code for a discount. That being said, thank you for watching this. A little recap, obviously, as always. Don't forget about the way to conjugate the and the short form and the long form, and then the similarities and differences with the I conjugation, the verbs that you get under this conjugation and the amount of them, which is really, really tiny, and some of them are pretty much not common at all. Some of them are used mostly in literature, really, and in formal talking. Don't forget about the change that happens in the el-ea form. And don't forget to practice this again if you haven't done already properly. Take a piece of paper and a pen and work this out. Alright, hope you enjoyed this new way of doing the grammar videos. I hope you are excited to practice more of the conjugation. And that being said, I hope you had a great one. Thank you for sticking to the end if you have done. And until the next time, la revedere.